So, people's off the tube. Now, last week, I made a video about how long we have to wait for Doctor Who, in which I broke down the last 15 years into 3-year chunks to demonstrate that, apart from the first chunk, every chunk has had 2 series and 1 no series for the 3 years, which means that the wait that we have is pretty much the same every chunk. On average, the length of time we're waiting per series has not really changed since the first few years. Right? Do you remember that video? There'll probably be a link in the description. The general consensus for that video was, oh, but what about we're getting less episodes though? Yeah, I know. I did say that in the video. That wasn't what it was about. Okay, so I guess my sort of optimistic, well, we're not having to wait any longer, that wasn't good enough for you. So welcome to video 2. This is the sequel, the follow-up video to the last video. This one it's the same numbers, but with the opposite message. Doctor Who numbers, round 2. Doctor Who numbers, round 2. So, as before, we're breaking Doctor Who into 5 chunks of 3 years. 2005 to 2007, 2008 to 2010, 2011 to 2013, 2014 to 2016, 2017 to 2019, which is the current chunk. Each chunk is 3 years. I spent this morning typing in numbers. I've been typing in numbers. So, chunk 1. We had a series every year, as I said last time. This is the only chunk in which we've had 3 series. Each series had 13 episodes. Then we got a Christmas special at the end of all of those years. That's a combined total of 42 episodes. So that's our high point. So we'll put this aside for now. We're going to get back to this chunk later on. We're going to look even more in depth into these numbers. Chunk 2. We didn't have a series in 2009. We had one in 2008. We had one in 2010. We had a few specials in the middle. But in total, we had 10 episodes fewer. 32 episodes in chunk 2. So let's push that aside for just now and look at chunk 3, in which we had series 6 in 2011, half of series 7 in 2012, and half of series 7 in 2013. As obviously it's still 2 series, but there weren't so many specials. We had 1 additional special, and that was the Day of the Doctor. So chunk 3, 30 episodes, down by 2. So let's push this chunk aside and look at chunk 4. Chunk 4 is when we had Peter Capaldi's first 2 series and then a break with just a Christmas special. So again, we're getting an episode less per series, so that's 2 less, and we've got 1 less special because we didn't have the Day of the Doctor in that chunk. So we're 3 less, 27 episodes. So let's push that chunk aside for now and look at the final chunk, chunk 5, in which we see the series number of episodes go down by another 2, and we have this year in which there's just nothing. Last year's Christmas special was bumped to the start of this year, and then nothing. So we're down another 3 episodes to 24. So that all makes sense fine so far. Don't worry, we'll be recapping this in a bit. Now, the counter-argument might be, but the episodes are getting a bit longer. Are they, though? Are they? I was having a look. I'm only going by the Wikipedia listed episode length. Most of them are 45 minutes up to, well, we start getting more and more that are over 45. Round about the start of Matt Smith. They start getting, I mean, David Tennant's last series we had a few, Matt Smith's we had a few more, and gradually they start having more and more that are over 45 minutes, maybe 50 minutes. But this year's, or last year's big thing was that the episodes were all going to be 50 minutes instead of 45. Most of them are less than 50. They're all more than 45. I think the shortest one's 47. But there's very few of them are as much as 50. There's maybe 1 or 2 of them that are over 50, 51. But I'd say more of them are less than 50. There's more episodes in series 10 that are over 45 than there are in series 11 that are as much as 50. Anyway, what does this all mean? Well, I've added up all the minutes, not including minisodes, just the full episodes, the minutes for each chunk. So, minute-wise, chunk 1, we had 1,948 minutes. Bear in mind, this is a chunk where we had 3 full series. This is the only time that happened, so it's going to be the high point. Chunk 2, we're down to 1,618 minutes, which is down by about 330 minutes. So that's about 5.5 hours, 5.5 hours less. But we're 10 episodes less, so that makes sense. Chunk 3, we're down to 1,447 minutes, which is about 170 minutes less, so just under 3 hours less for Chunk 3 than Chunk 2. Again, we've got a couple of specials less, so that makes sense. Chunk 4, we're down to 1,343 minutes, which is 100 minutes less, just over an hour and a half less. Chunk 5, we're down to 1,189 minutes, which is 154 minutes, which is just over 2.5 hours less. That is, I know these numbers are very hard to get your head around, to visualize. So for your delectation, I have made graphs. Because, saying, 3 series, 2 series, 2 series, that's easy enough to visualize. 1948, 1618, that's kind of abstract. It's too numbery. Here are some graphs. So, number of episodes by chunk. So as we can see here, looking at this graph, it goes down a fair bit over time. It's a fairly steady decline. I mean, it decreases to about two-thirds what it was to start with, slightly less than two-thirds. It is a fairly substantial decrease. Now if we look at the number of minutes per chunk, this is graph 2, yeah, it's quite a steady decline. These are the graphs. So if you watched that last video and thought, well, yeah, we are getting the same number of series, but we're not getting as much Doctor Who, thus completely missing the point of what I was talking about. I sound so bitter. That's not a good attitude to go into a video. No one wants to watch a video where I'm bitter at the audience. Sorry, I don't really feel as grumpy as I'm making out. Yeah, it's true. We're getting the same number of series per chunk, excluding the first chunk, but we are getting less Doctor Who. So I hope that this information is now coherent enough and complete enough that everyone's like, yeah, that is what's going on. We don't have to wait longer for Doctor Who, but we have to wait the same amount of time for less of it. These are the numbers. I hope you liked those numbers. I hope they were numbery for you. Sorry if I sounded a bit cross with you. I'm not. I just here's a video. Made a video. Here it is. There will be another video eventually. Probably for Halloween. Halloween seems like a good time. It won't be a Doctor Who video. So if this is all you've come for, then it's going to be it for a while. But yeah, come back and hear me do a Halloween video in a few. What is this? In 2 weeks' time. Until then, thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Literally just one comment that has sparked this video. So, Phil Hawkins, this is going to feel like all my ire is directed at you. I don't mind. It's fine. You're right. Just, I guess this video's for you. Happy birthday. Is it your birthday? I don't think so.
Traffic on the hour.